It's a family drama based on the goings on in a family, a young couple, upwardly mobile. The man, for some reason, strays away from his beautiful and lovely wife, played by the lady sitting beside me, sitting. So he strays with another woman. I don't know whether to tell the whole story, but it's just about him straying and contracting HIV. Now the main drama is based on how they deal with this disease, and it just goes. The good thing about it is how. It's not so much about the HIV itself as it is with the human spirit, the capacity for the human spirit to take on stress, deal with the stress, forgive, and learn to surmount difficulties and upheavals in one's life. The other beautiful thing about it is that it takes the main drama or the main conflict of the human soul within this family takes place over a period of a few days, which heightens intensity. So it's more like the beauty of it is it's more like a purging of the spirit, of the human spirit, and that is what makes it so wonderful. That in the crux is what it's all about.
As Kalu said, I'm playing the wife in the movie, and her name is Selima. And pretty much she's just an average woman who has sort of everything that every woman sort of dreams of ever since they're a little girl. She married the man of her dreams. They end up having 2 beautiful children. They have a wonderful life together, and for the most part, she follows the book. She loves God. She always does her best to try to keep her family together, and but then she finds herself up against the wall. She finds her whole world sort of come crashing down because of this HIV and this affair that she finds out her husband has. And so she's really forced to sort of see herself and in a new way, and also she's challenged with her faith. And okay, it's easy for me to love God when everything is going well. It's easy for me to praise Him and to love my husband and to just be happy. But what happens when things in life that we don't expect happen, and that foundation is shaken? And she sort of deals with that, and that forgiveness piece, and really loving beyond what she is capable of doing. Really that love of God that we talk about, that's selfless, that is unconditional, and so yeah, and that's I think what drew me to her character, is the fact that I could see a lot of me in her, and just as her being a strong woman, but also having that weakness of not wanting to talk to people, trying to always be in control of everything, and she sort of has to realize, like, wow, I'm not in control of everything. And I honestly took on the role because I just fell in love with the character, and I felt like I could learn a lot from her, and that a lot of women can relate to Selima and her situation.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting, because I think on the opposite side of it, the character I play is David. I don't know. I mean, David seems to be this very sort of suave sort of person. And as is typical with most men, especially those who are achievers, they have, I wouldn't say a bloated sense of self, but, they have this confidence about them that, the word is yours, go and get it, and, falls in love with this very beautiful lady who, loves him very much, has a wonderful family with them. And, the words is his oyster. He can go out as a lawyer. He goes out, gets his stuff, provides for his family. His wife is hardworking as well, have these wonderful children. And just for a split second, he makes a mistake. The roles are kind of switched. this person who he used to protect and hover over, like, I'm your protector, she takes on the stronger one, and he suddenly finds out that this is actually the backbone, like the rock. When things go wrong, she holds everything together. And it was very weird for me. I'm sorry I have to get personal here. It was very weird for me because I actually felt that vulnerability. I actually felt that vulnerability of David, when he's longing for acceptance from his wife, longing for, some sort of support, some sort of approval, if I may use the word, some sort of approval. And, I think at that point is where I sort of found out that, my role actually had a life of its own, as did hers, which was a very bizarre thing. I think that was one of the first times it came to, because both of us, I don't know if I've veered a bit from what we're talking about. We did take time getting to know one another,
right,
and getting close. And how long did we spend? Almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2
I think
weeks
it was
of
2 weeks.
Yeah, right from the inception. If there was a documentary chart chronicling how we got to meet one another
Right.
to now, would have been like, how's that thing, like the progression of, I
Right.
don't know how they do it, evolution or something like that. Even I don't really believe in it, but it's like an ascending order. And the point I'm making is, we could really see our characters just come to life, take on a life of their own. That's per se is what I can say about the characters that we play, so far.
So I think for me, preparing for this role, it wasn't actually, I think for Kalu, it probably, because he's more, like you said, seasoned and acting and things of that sort. For me, it was really, I think the married women in my life. And looking back, I noticed that God's brought a lot of women who are married in my life, and they're always advising me about marriage, about life, and things of that sort. And so when I actually started reading the script, here I was now having to play a married woman. And I just started thinking about them and the stories they would tell me, and how a lot of them would be so upfront and real and transparent about the difficulties in marriage, and just sort of the things that we don't, I think, plan for. You sort of think the honeymoon phase lasts, well, forever. And what I've learned from a lot of these women is a lot of them went into marriage thinking it was sort of going to be that way until they were hit with their first shock. Whether it be, the man having an affair, or something, a child dying, or just anything that you don't plan for. And just hearing their stories, I think, helped me prepare for this role, because I was able to sort of feel firsthand that pain and sort of how they dealt with it, and to see that they were able to overcome it, I think was one of the most powerful things, because you see this woman and you really don't know what's going to happen. You haven't really seen her break down, but then again, is she able to handle this? And the truth is, we're able to handle things, and I think that's where that love comes in, and that forgiveness, and where Christ being at the center of that and being that backbone really sort of pushes you to be able to go beyond and to survive those things. So that really was my preparation for the role, was just these women's stories, which at the time I didn't know would actually prepare me for this role. So I think that was...
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt that energy from her, because I got the brunt of it, especially the parts where her character was very angry with me, and she would come and, I hate you, those little quips she put in. Exactly, I got punches too, however frail they were, but
Oh, yeah, I punched you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And pinch too.
Oh, and pinched?
Yeah,
Okay.
and sometimes she wouldn't even talk to me. That helps me. I wouldn't say like my experience in acting. Yes, I did apply some of them, but as far as I can tell, they were quite rudimentary. Played a very rudimentary role in what I was doing. Most of it was actually, I mean, to tell the truth, I sort of jumped into it empty-headed, if I may use the word, because I didn't know what to think. It was probably a good thing, because in my head was just this blank page, which I just started writing on as the time progressed, as I worked with her, going through the joys, getting close to one another and everything. And it was really a thing of the moment for me. For every scene that came up, I'd draw upon, look at her pretty face and, remember the joys we had, the laughs and everything. Ask my wife, I'm in the character. And the bizarre thing was that we actually started with the latter scenes, where the aspect of betrayal had come out, and the difficulty we're having, like this very strange relationship, going by how we had bonded together. It was a very hard thing to suddenly jump into this situation where we had this very strange relationship. And I felt it because we're actually very close on set. And we're very close in the sense that we would share opinions with one another about the character. We talked at length about what we felt, and stuff like that. So getting to that strained part, it was as if it was an actual relationship. And that was from the sort of bonding we had, if I might use the word. And so I wouldn't say my experience as an actor came into it. It did help, but it was quite basic, the basic aspects of it. But a lot of it was from the sort of camaraderie that we had together. That's what boosted it quite a lot for me.
One of the hardest scenes for me was when Salima, my character, actually breaks down. Because here she is this whole time, she's trying to remain strong, and I think the audience, they're still trying to read, what is she going through? Is she sad? Is she hurt? Is she angry? Is she going to stay with him? Are they going to be able to, repair this? And then the whole time they're also thinking, does she have HIV? What's going on? And so finally, here's this moment where she actually, I think, taps into her human side. And she realizes, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. And the scene before that, she actually goes to church. And there's a sermon that sort of convicts her. And it really sinks in. And she realizes that this whole time she's been sort of running away. She's been thinking about herself. And she finally realizes, okay, here's two other people that are suffering. And one of them is her best friend, my best friend. And he's also hurting. And, she's been trying to run away from God because she's angry with him. How can he do this? Not only did my best friend and my husband betray me, but now God's betrayed me. That's how she feels. And so when she goes to church that morning, it's like God is speaking directly to her. And he convicts her, and it really sinks in that night when she goes home. And so that scene in the shower, it was difficult because I had to go back and think about an instance when I felt that way. And just to go back and step back into her shoes and tap into that feeling was difficult at first because nobody wants to be there. It's very uncomfortable. And it's just a place that we all have to go through that in life and multiple times. But it's an uncomfortable place to be. And so it was difficult at first to get to start off with those scenes. And to actually be in the shower and break down and try to really connect with her. But, the producer and all of them were really helpful in talking it out from the beginning and just really tapping into, okay, what is she feeling at this moment? How would I feel if I was in her shoes? So that's what kind of helped me push through it. But it was difficult at first because now not only do I have to tap into her emotions, but I have to do that in front of a camera and with other people around and stay focused on that. And so I think that's really, you know, what you see in that scene. And I hope that it was conveyed. But yeah, it was difficult. But once I got there, I could really relate. I feel like I felt it. Like I felt Selima's pain at that moment. So here's the clip.
I try to start every scene with an empty head. Just write a blank sheet and just start to write on it as I go on. And it was bizarre. I think it was the most difficult for me because I didn't. Sometimes when you say words, there's a lot of comfort in it because you kind of seek refuge in them to voice out the pain that you're going through. How do you do that? Not say anything and still show the turmoil that goes in your heart. And, well, according to the director, I had to just... My character, David, had to wait for, be filled with this guilt and remorse and confusion. I mean, here's a man desperate to get some sort of approval or some pat on the back of the head from his wife to say, look, I'm here for you. He's in the midst of his HIV. He doesn't know if his wife is going to leave him. His whole world has come crashing down because he doesn't, what if he goes? What if his wife goes? What will happen to their children? His children are going to become orphans, And at this moment, I was... At this moment, I was supposed... My wife, there's a character I was playing, David, his wife was supposed to go in, come in from the bedroom. I mean, she refused to stay in the bedroom with him. She slept downstairs and came up. And she just came up to get dressed for church. And here she coming upstairs, comes into the bedroom. And all I could, she goes into the bedroom, the bathroom, goes in the bedroom, the closet, picks her clothes and goes straight to the bathroom and leaves. And all this while, it was such a painful thing for me because I put myself in that position. I forgot about the HIV. I forgot about the future. I forgot about everything. The only thing that was in my mind was, please, just say something to me. You know, just shout at me. Tell me what an idiot I am. You know, just everything else just vanished. It's just, I just want this beautiful wife of mine to just say, you know what, whether in anger or in sorrow or in anything, just say something to me. And the minute she stops, there's this glimmer of hope that, for her to tell me, aren't you coming to church? Why are you looking so scruffy? And she stops. There's that hope. It's like the word just stands still, waiting. And then she walks out and shuts the door. I never want to relive that kind of thing in my real life. It was, that just hits me like a sledgehammer. And at that moment, I knew what pain David was in, and it was very difficult for me, to say the least. And I'm glad I put that blank sheet in my head, but enough of that. Check this clip out. I think we have it's a family drama, and I think the spirits that goes on in this place, right from the executive producer Lamin to the cast and crew, everyone is a tight-knit family. Never mind that the DOP Nicole and wonderful Mitch and Nkem always make fun of me because of my accent. I don't know what I did to them, jabs at me about how. But anyway, that's beside the point. But they're absolutely wonderful people. I think the thing here is everyone knows their jobs. Everyone is precise. You don't need to tell the other person. Kevin, who did my beard for me. Benitez, who does it running around the production, who kicks up the donkey. Allowed to say that, right? So sending us emails and berating us for not reading our emails and getting all our stuff that we need to come on set with. But, you know, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of joviality and, you know, professionalism. People, you know, get right to the point about things, even though things don't seem to go. There's some challenges that come up, but, you know, it's something. It's a project I've been very, very privileged to work on, and of course my dear friend I have made, Miss Black USA. Who has Miss Black USA for a friend? Can you imagine? I go take you post die.
Hey,
anyway, so that's to say, I mean the drama. Oh, by the way, I co-wrote this as well.
Oh, you did?
Didn't I?
Oh,
I did actually.
no, just kidding.
No, but the thing is, what grabs it. I mean, I've probably many stories like this, but I think the thing that really grabs people about this is the spirit that runs through it. We had a meeting, and we had meetings over and over again, and our view was to be able to grab the souls of people, to identify for everyone, even those who don't have HIV, to create the message that it could happen to you. You know, it could happen to you. What do you do when you are, when you have this sort of conflict in your soul with someone that you love? You know, what's the future? Where do you go with it? I don't know. Could you wanna?
And I think also with that is just changing the view and the face of HIV, because a lot of times society has this misconception that maybe it's those people that are promiscuous or men on the down low and this and that, but they don't really see a family as having to deal with this issue of HIV, which was something that was new to me.
Exactly.
As we did the research, realizing that there were married women who are sitting in the pews on Sunday who are suffering from HIV. And so I think this movie, the thing I respect so much about it is the fact that it shows that you're not necessarily a bad person or a promiscuous person or whatsoever, but this can happen to the average person. It just takes one mistake.
Exactly.
And your whole life can be turned around. And so I appreciate the fact that this movie shows that other side of HIV. Exactly. And sort of breaks down that stereotype, and to show that these are real people that deal with this issue. Exactly. And that it's still prevalent. You know, we have this tendency to sort of switch causes that we focus on, and I don't think we focus on it that much. And so that's what I appreciated. And yeah, I think that's...
I think also the most important thing in this thing is, I think the most important lesson here, which I learned, is that life is a decision. It is a decision. You either choose to die or you choose to live. There's good and bad in everyone. Everyone has flaws. But predominantly, life is a decision. If you can choose to build your relationship with other people, you can choose to kill it, and in that, you know, in that course, you know, end your own life or build it for the better. I think that's the strongest message I feel this drama brings out, you know, because, as you were saying, not so we don't give everything away, but that's it predominantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, love conquers all. So, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But we recommend that you go see the movie Helpmate, The Helpmate.
The Helpmate.
The Helpmate.
Yes.
And we're excited. We really are. Genuinely excited.
More.
And I think you said everything. We have a great crew, great cast, wonderful spirit, and I think that will really, shine through on the set and on the screen.
Yes. Oh yes. How could I forget Nono's food?
Hey.
I ate. No.
We
I
ate
have
good.
to.
That's true.
I don't know if Mitch tried the pepper. I mean, I didn't dare try, but Nono's food. That's Lamen's wife. She cooks up a storm. Every time I eat her food, I leave here drunk. Not drunk, but I, stodgy.
With the itis, as some might say. And then you're out for like 2 hours. And then you got to get back up and cameras rolling.
And then you have Cam bullying us. Yes.
So yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Again, we're really honored and really humbled to be a part of this project, and we hope you enjoy it and that it really ministers to people in their situations and just to your life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are very close. Like she likes to lay down on my lap.
Ew.